On this episode, our Real Designing Women experience the grief and the glory of the all-important client.
You need to control your client, gauge them, communicate with them, and let them take ownership. Because if they do, who do they have to blame but themselves? This is the wall.
I'm not a fan of the red. This is just too franchisey.
They're very nervous when it comes to their homes and in what they're buying. It's not a small table.
It'll feel bigger and take up more space when it's surrounded by chairs.
Clients is always right, but not really.
It's a fine line that you walk with clients because they're paying you. And without them, you don't exist. You're still not liking it after a few days?
Doug said he hated it.
Oh no.
Everything, it's like, ooh.
I am on the way to a new client. Their house is pretty traditional, and they are very, very preppy. It's a bit of a challenge because I'm a little more hip and a little more colorful. So I'm gonna lay it all out, and hopefully, they will love it, and we can go forward pretty quickly with this one.
When I meet with a client, I listen. So by the time I get to presentation, I'm almost never nervous. I'm always very excited, actually, because I know I've listened better than most designers do.
This is a formal area, and we could do maybe like 2 sofas here, a bench here, a coffee table. So the way that image looks in 3D, and this isn't the colors or the styles of what you'll do, but this layout is very similar to this layout. Very simple, elegant.
Yeah.
Cozy,
Perfect.
comfortable but modern still.
Right.
So that's, I think, we like that.
For me, the easy part is showing them all your beautiful pictures and your ideas, and them going, oh my God, you read our minds.
That went
Good.
better than I could have ever expected.
Oh, okay, those are the words I
Really
like to hear.
The difficult part, and the part that literally keeps me up at night, is executing that plan.
They have a $50,000 budget, so I'm really stretching it.
Yeah.
But it's okay because there's enough there with paint and everything. They love cranberry.
Okay.
They love navies. You know what? Let me also get out their plan. Now, here's the layout. So this color in this room is this guy. And it is directly across the hall from this. There's a rug coming in here this color. And then these chairs are in that room.
And that's black and white.
That's total stark black and white.
It's an endless sea of choices. And what separates the big boys from the babies in design is somebody who really knows their resources, which is such a hard thing to do because there's always new stuff coming out, and there's literally tens of thousands of manufacturers. When you get involved in this process, it's enough to pull your hair out.
Love this. I use this all the time.
I do because time is money. You need to get in and out of there fast.
Is the install for this?
Like in the next week.
Meanwhile, in New York, Jennifer's got a little begging to do.
On my way to Profiles, I'm gonna see if David will let me borrow this table that I am dying for Erica to buy for her home in Long Island. I've been obsessing over this table for a year now, and I just think that if she actually sees it in her house, I know that she'll be convinced to buy it.
Erica was one of my first clients about 10 years ago, right after I'd started my own business. I helped her decorate her first home. Her husband called me and said, we bought a house. Erica's tried to do it on her own, but it was a big house, and she started to get overwhelmed. And she was starting to second guess herself and afraid she was making mistakes, and they were costly mistakes. I really want this to stand out as a special thing. So I would say let's get it done and then we can revisit the kitchen because it's not being done today anyway. Right. I've worked with clients who were my friends before. I actually go the extra mile to make sure that I don't do anything that's gonna damage that relationship. But there's always the danger in, you're spending your friend's money and the whole money friendship thing is a little weird. You have to be really sensitive. As you know, this is one of my favorite pieces in the whole showroom.
Yeah, it's great. I love it also.
So this actually would fit beautifully into her home. The house is modern, but we've done, I would say, transitional furnishings. Erica has this old dining table from her old house that we loved when we bought it 10 years ago. It's very traditional, very heavy, and really not appropriate at all for the style of her very modern new home. I think the way for me to really, really get this sold would be for me to borrow the table. I'd love her to see it in the space so that she really gets a sense of what I'm proposing. And I just want her to feel really comfortable. Borrowing furniture from a vendor is a real opportunity for the client to actually see it the way that it will be. It's not about me getting my way. It's about the client's inability to envision what something's going to look like before they see it put together. I can bring in a very reputable shipper.
That's something we typically don't do.
Can you make an exception for me, David?
We hardly ever we never make exceptions, but you know what? We've been doing business for so many years.
Yes. Well, you know I can't run away with it.
I know, and you love it so much.
I do.
I know it's one of your favorite tables, so we just have to get that trucking company that will blanket wrap it. And
Perfect. I can do that.
do
That
the
I can do.
inside delivery.
Great.
And then we're all set.
Okay.
And then maybe you'll sell too.
You know what? I would love to sell too.
Up in Toronto, Dee Dee's newest client is a first for her.
I just met with these hysterical people, great people, but we are going to do a chicken wing restaurant. Chicken wing.
Excellent.
Yeah, I did this premier restaurant in Toronto on Harbor 60. I did the design and I did the build. As a patron of that restaurant, Wild Wing. Ricky went there, loved the look. So Wild Wing is looking for like a rebranding. All right, so what we're gonna actually do is, it is insane as like Santa Fe, and they gave me this bucket. Okay. For like inspiration. A bucket. That's never happened before. This is what we're looking for in our new restaurant. Go for it. Okay, so this is my thought. We take that for the wall up to a chair rail, hit a white, floor, walls, sky. So in this, which is the floor plan, you gotta maximize seating. You know, you might have a booth here. Maybe there's actually only a banquette here and then individual tables, right? Okay. And then anywhere you can possibly put it, put a television set and put a Wild Wing.
And like basically flying with this concept, doing like 40 stores with this.
40 stores, going out east, going out west, going international. But anyway, I think that what we need to do is stay 2 steps ahead of them and give them what they want. They need it fun, they want a bit sexy, and they want to have a good time. Don't wear it on your head or anything.
No, gosh, no.
With only a bucket to inspire her next design, Dee Dee is forced to make a field trip.
Where do you think we are?
I'm not too sure.
For me to go to the strip mall, it's not something normally I would do. I don't know, I'm just not a mall girl. But in this case, it's a big challenge. Wild Wing is looking for a new branding. Are the wings good? Did you guys come here a lot? No. No? So 10 years ago, there's dark, brown, Wild West kind of craze.
This is the infamous bucket.
Right? Today, they're looking for the beach scene. This is where the bar would come.
Yes.
And then there you'd have French doors, and there you'd have French doors. So I'm sitting here looking at the bathroom. Yeah, like forget it. They could take this existing, right, and use that one datum line all the way around. Second datum line, either we do it below the exposed, right? Yep. Or we take that jog in the concrete. You know, it's a tough assignment. It's really driven by money. Hopefully something can come out of this. But maybe I'll learn I'm not the right person for it. Well, the floor's sticky. Well, everything's sticky.
For Jennifer, it's time to learn if she's made the right table choice.
All right, we're on our way to Erica's house to install a lot of different things today. So I'm curious to see it all put together. The sofa's coming today for the living room. We have the table that I love from Profiles being delivered to see if they want to keep it or order one. So it should be interesting. The tables here, I had it trucked up to the house. I can't imagine that she's not going to fall over herself to buy this piece of furniture because it's so perfect. But I really just want you to see the color.
The colors are gorgeous.
And the material,
right,
and the shape.
Wow, it is small in here.
Tiny. It wasn't the easiest that I expected it would be. It's 52, and then the length here is 91. It's not a small table. It'll feel bigger and take up more space when it's surrounded by chairs. And they add a lot of bulk.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be great. A big part of it is gaining their trust and their faith. So I back off a little bit because I know it's a little bit of a touchy situation, and quite honestly, I don't want the client to feel too pushed. We need to play with the dimensions. We're not restricted for space here.
Right.
I know that she's going to come to this on her own, and we'll let that happen. And I am constantly reminding myself that the design process is incredibly stressful for them.
When we finally get all of the chairs and the chandelier in, she's not gonna want this there.
We set up the whole room, and it'll be such an eyesore that it'll go. She has asked me, can we make her old dining table look better? Is there anything that we can do to make it blend more with the house? And the bottom line is no. I don't want you to be uncomfortable, and I don't want you to feel like you're making the wrong choice. Right. This is where I would like us to head when we're ready to do it.
Right.
And in California, Lori's also facing some client concerns.
So my clients are terrified about the paint color, which is a very normal thing. I'm here today to try to calm them down. I also need to check on the drapery that's going up in the dining room, which is also going to help with the paint problem. The whole house is beige right now, and they're throwing up a very, 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 very bold blue. So I think it would even scare me, and I've seen it a million times. Hey, so I was like, freaking out that you wouldn't like the dining room. How do you like it?
It's like, it's a little...
It's a lot, right?
Yeah, it's hard for us.
Like, you're still not liking it after a few days?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like everything else is one way.
I was hoping so much that you would be like, we're starting to really love it.
And we kind of like the light.
Right.
And it seems too dark for us.
There's a mood to the dining room. That's really, when you go somewhere and there's an ambiance and you're like, wow, I like eating here. It's because it's the room in the house that definitely has the most mood.
Yeah,
but this
it's
is
not so
with
full.
makeup, okay? Like if you just put foundation all over the whole face, which is what this is. This is our foundation. It would look frightening.
Doug said he hated it.
Oh no.
Everything, it's like, ooh.
It sometimes gets a little uncomfortable when things are not finished. But you as the designer have already envisioned what it's going to look like in the end, and you've been through this process many times.
You showed me complete rooms, and we really are trying to mirror what we're seeing in those rooms, the same feeling. So we'll get there.
They trusted you when they hired you and signed the contract, but at that point, inevitably every single client has this uneasiness like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on, so they must not know what's going on.
Okay, see, that looks great. This and this, doesn't it?
That goes a lot better than
Okay, we have our colorway now.
Okay.
It's this, and this, with whites and creams and blacks.
Nice.
And I think, honestly, as things come, I think you're gonna start to get more and more comfortable because you're a woman and you see it. And I think Doug's gonna start to get more and more uncomfortable.
To gingerly and gently massage them back to the right way. It's a fine line that you walk with clients. You really have to understand that they're the ones whose needs need to be met. Sometimes you have to help them understand what those needs are.
They have the cranberry. There's two of them. They're large enough. And then the carpet in here is this color, right? See how it's all coming together? Now you just have to work on Doug. That's your job, all right? Good. Ready? Break.
Okay.
One week has passed, and it's time for Dee Dee to make her restaurant pitch.
So I'm going to show you kind of what we came up with in some of the images and then just take you through it. This guy who owns Wild Wing is a visionary, started this on his own. He's certainly been successful, and we came up with a concept from a bucket. Here's the typical floor plan you come in. So you come in here, hostess station, all this kind of wood, but really I'd love to run it in herringbone. And then this is the wall, that just typical wall would be on this side. So here's the posts, like this, on each kind of corner here. Then we put stainless here, stainless all around, frame in the blue. And then we either have palm trees, it's starting with our Wild Wing, and then everything from here up is the white.
I'm not too worried about that. I don't want to screw with the design. It's your vision, and I'll just tell you what I don't like about it, so you hear it up front. I don't need this waiting area. It's just so overrated. It's so franchisey. Seating, bring the seating to the door, bring the bar up a bit more. I'm not a fan of the red. It reminds me of some of my competitors, and then I could care less for this.
Okay.
It's too psychedelic. Our people are grassroots, humble.
Really, our inspiration is from the bucket.
Okay, if you don't like the latte. Okay.
He didn't like sort of the palm tree look paper, but then like the seagrass. That's actually great because this is grass cloth.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's much better.
And then at some point, I think he kind of hated it all, and then I think he liked part of it. So I got to figure that one out.
I love that. I love that.
That is a bar material. You could even light it. We could light it.
This is it. This is what I want.
Could be worse. You could have hated the whole thing.
Okay, it is the other street. And there is no movie truck there, and that is not good.
For Lori, it's now down to only one day to have her furniture delivered, unwrapped, and placed.
Hey, it's Lori. I'm at the house and nobody's here, so that's not the best news I've heard of all day.
There's so many players and so many components to try to make it to the finish line that there's about 150 situations that aren't what you told the client is going to happen through no fault of your own. So the husband's coming home, they're having a big dinner party, and my movers, they're 3 hours late.
So, we're gonna, I'm gonna call it a day after this. We'll just take it.
No, you're not going to call it a day. You are absolutely not going to call it a day. We need to finish the whole thing. We have people waiting all over town.
I just think you're being...
No.
I'm listen to me, okay?
You know what? One of my clients that I'm dealing with right now is a very, very nasty litigator.
You want to sue somebody, you sue that company.
I don't want to sue anybody. I want you to finish the day that you have to finish. You don't quit the job because you're upset.
So you don't unleash on me either, okay?
Have your gentlemen left the facility?
Yes, they're leaving, they're pulling out right now.
Okay, they need to go as fast as they can once they get to this location. They need to move like the wind today.
That's fine, they will.
Okay.
There's two things as a woman that you can do that'll scare the hell out of anybody or make them real uncomfortable, and that's crying or yelling. So once I yelled, all my stuff showed up. They were not going to be the reason that I had to explain why the dinner party wasn't going to happen.
You guys, no, you don't have to roll it up. Just push it and pull it. Can you just give me it's like a centimeter on this side?
Meanwhile, for Jennifer, the table verdict is finally in.
We made the right choice getting it here because against the backdrop of this house, she loved it.
But that doesn't mean it's clear sailing just yet.
We have a lot of vendors on site today, and some of them are mine and some of them are hers. Mine are doing great. I can't believe you did this all in one day. It's a lot of work. It looks beautiful. But the bed came today, and I'm less than thrilled with how it turned out. That's a lot.
Right, it should be flush.
The bed came, it's so far less than perfect. For one of my people, I wouldn't even have let it through the door. Let's talk about the way that you make your bed. I actually have the bottom portion made as almost an upholstered box spring. And then, what Erica was just saying was so much bigger than the mattress.
Because once the bedding gets on, it's gonna fill up that space, and this is all gonna disappear.
Right. It took a very long time for this bed to be made to begin with, and we just need to decide if it's worthwhile to have it fixed.
I would cut it back, Lori. That's my opinion.
I don't think that's an option.
And the feeling is if we let it go back out, we might never see the thing again. The thing is you paid for it, so I'd hate for you to pay somebody else to fix it.
I'm not paying someone else to fix it.
So that's the only thing.
Her first pitch off the mark. It's Dee Dee's final crack at the Wild Wing project.
Last time that we met, we had this version, and Ricky was like, oh my God, no. Right? Like too crazy. Yeah. We didn't have enough seating. There's not really a waiting area. So we changed that. So we've got the 4 booths and then that long banquette seating.
Right, that's good.
So that's like the groovy Kenny Chesney bar. And then this was an idea about some of the bathrooms too, right? I think we nailed it for the look or what our interpretation of it is. Now, I don't know if he's still on that same page. And does that make sense with their numbers or not? This is the budget as we went all the way through. So we came down to 107 full in, top to bottom. So we'll see. It happens all the time in the design business. You know, they're really gung-ho, they want to go, and then they go back to their franchisees, and now you have to get all these people on board. For us, I think we're just stopped. We need direction on where we kind of go next.
Right.
I can get a call tomorrow and say we're rolling out 40. I can get a call tomorrow and say, send us their invoice, you know, we're moving on. We did our job, and it's floating somewhere in design purgatory for a while.
For Jennifer, all's well that ends well.
For me, it's not just about is the home beautiful at the end of the day, but how was the experience getting there?
Do you actually think it'll be done today?
Absolutely.
Really?
We can't not be done today. We might be.
They have other things to do.
With Erica in particular, I have had an amazing experience.
My daughter blames me on the paint color and the carpet. She goes, there's not enough orange in here.
Because you did those without me.
It's a real friendship. When we're not talking about decorating, we're talking about kids and family and life, but not all relationships are this way.
I'm speechless. You eased my pain and my doubts about what I had done. You've made it so easy. To be continued.
There are things that still need to be done in this house. Who knows if this is their forever house? Maybe they'll buy a second home, hint, hint.
And for Lori, the dinner party and the makeover are finally over.
The best feeling in the world is when you complete a project and you see the concept turn into reality, and it is so gratifying.
This room looks really good.
Yeah, so
The accent piece has really made a difference.
you know, the thing that surprised me the most was this ottoman, and I think it might be my favorite thing.
I love it.
In the whole house.
When they have smiles on their faces or, oh my gosh, I can't believe we live here.
This is great.
I love hearing that one. That's like music to my ears.
How fun is it to entertain in here?
It's
Oh my
great.
God, it's been so good.
I don't know if I'm an egomaniac and I just like to be told how great it is,
Absolutely love the mirrors.
Right?
It's great.
but it's imperative to your lifeline of business. If you don't get that kind of feedback, you're not doing the right thing. You better find another field.
For more information about this show, please visit hgtv.ca.